Hey guys, Owen here, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be seeing how good a team of all the players placed on waivers this season are in NHL 21. So as I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this year in the NHL, because of the taxi squad and the various COVID rules, there was a record, I believe it was over 100 waiver placements all in one day back in January. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take every player who's been placed on waivers in 2021 and we're going to put them all on a team together in NHL 21 and see how well they do in a full NHL season. So as the Ottawa Senators are the lowest ranked team in the Eastern Conference, I figured I'd sub them out. So as you can see, this team is 82 overall, and actually a little bit better than I expected. There isn't too many stars in this team, but there is a lot of depth, so it'll be interesting to see how well the team does. As you can imagine, we want to see how well these players will do on their own, so we're going to be simming through the season, and we're going to have injuries off just so I don't have to worry about switching the lines around every couple minutes. So we're going to get into it, and I'm going to show you guys the lineups. Alright guys, so here we are in the lineup screen, and as you guys can see, the team has quite a bit of depth, but we don't have really the greatest star power here. We have Tyler Johnson. He was placed on waivers by Tampa Bay earlier in the season, but he wasn't claimed. But all these players here you see were placed on waivers at some point during 2021. So during this month of January, everyone here was placed on waivers at some point during the season. So as you can see, we got a couple good forwards here. We got Frolik, Tyler Johnson, Corey Perry, Dennis Malgin, Matthew Perreault. So we'll be looking for some of these guys to lead us offense. And then here on defense, we just got a bunch of 80, 79 overalls. Oliver Kylington, pretty surprised he got placed on waivers. He's got some decent potential, so it'll be interesting to see if he grows it all throughout the season. And then as for the goalies, we got Aaron Dell and Keith Kincaid. So obviously Aaron Dell placed on waivers by the Toronto Maple Leafs. But as you can see, we got a few players here. Nothing too spectacular, so I wouldn't be too surprised if we did miss the playoffs, and frankly if we did finish last in the league. But it'll be interesting to see what they can do, and it's kind of going to be interesting to see how the depth this team plays out. Alright, so guys, we are up to the regular season, and I just figured I'd just quickly jump in here and show you the overalls and the jerseys. So nothing too fancy, I just kind of went with the NHL logo. I figured they were all players that had been put on waivers in the NHL, so I figured that was kind of a good logo to use. So we got the home, just black and silver, the away, black and silver, and then the alternate, we got the silver, black and white. So then we'll just go through, look at the overall. So we're an 82 offense, 83 defense, and 81 goaltender. So actually the defense is a little higher than I expected to be. It's kind of weird, none of our defensemen are 83 overall, but we're an 83 overall defensive ranking. But the offense and goaltending is not too good, so it'll be interesting to see how well this team does during the season. So I'm going to back out of this here, guys. We're going to sim up to the trade deadline, and I'll show you guys what the team is looking like at that point. Alright guys, so as you can see, we're at the trade deadline, and let's just see how well the team is doing here. They actually were doing really well for a little bit. They went on a bit of a tear, but it looks like we slowed down a little bit. 2 points out of a playoff spot, which is actually a lot better than I was expecting to be doing. Looks like the Kings are in dead last in the league there, so I was expecting us to be down there with them. But let's check out the stats here at the trade deadline. Looks like Tyler Johnson's having himself a pretty good season. 52 points, 61 games. As well as Frolik and Corey Perry. So that first line looks like they're gelling pretty nice. Also that third line, Derek Ryan, Matthew Perreault, they're doing really well as well. So just want to go into the team, check it out, see if anyone's ratings have increased or decreased. We did have a couple guys who had a little bit of potential, a couple top 6 guys, a couple top 4D, so see if they changed at all. Taking a look on offense here, it doesn't look like anyone has changed at all. On defense, Kylington went up by 1 overall, so that's good to see. Looks like they're playing alright. Minus 16 is pretty bad though. And we'll take a look at the goalies here. Keith Kincaid, 905, only 6 wins in 22 games. and Aaron Dell, even worse, 901 with a 3.26 goals against. So we did have a little bit of stretch with a few good games, but it looks like we've kind of teetered off, but still kind of on that playoff bubble. So we'll go ahead and sim up to the end of the season and see where we finish.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head.
Alright guys, so we are at the end of the season, and as you can obviously see, we did make the playoffs. We finished under 500. We're actually doing alright, but we had a bit of a stretch here. Geez, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses in a row, and looks like we lost 8 of 9 in a stretch there, so that was pretty bad end of the season. But overall, the team did fairly well, and they did a lot better than I thought they would. So it looks like Tyler Johnson absolutely went off this season. Let's take a look at his stats here. So it looks like he had 73 points, which is really good for him. That's 83 overall. Pro League 61 as well. Corey Perry 56, so a big resurgence season for him. Same with Matthew Perreault. So it looks like we had a lot of guys really play well, and obviously that's going to be expected to be seen of when guys are playing higher up in the lineup than they normally would be. But it's pretty interesting to see that a team of basically players that other NHL teams were essentially just willing to throw away for nothing did so well here in the simulation. So doesn't look like we had anybody go up in overall on offense. On defense, Kylington went up another overall, so that's pretty good. I'm really surprised he didn't get claimed by anyone on waivers. Somewhat of a promising young defenseman. He was drafted in the second round a few years back, but looks like he hasn't been able to stick in Calgary. And yeah, likely was where some of our troubles came. The goaltenders didn't play so well. But that's going to be all for it today, guys. Hope you did enjoy this video. If there's any other teams you want me to see try out in franchise mode, make sure to hit that like and comment what you guys are thinking. And yeah, that's all for me today. Hope you guys have a good day. Take care.